All right, and what is up, everybody? This is Robin Kenobi, and welcome to my live Money in the Bank 2017 predictions video. Of course, WWE Money in the Bank is this Sunday live on the WWE Network. It is a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, and honestly, guys, going into the show, I'm very excited. I've said this multiple times since the brand split, and I'm gonna keep saying it because it's the truth. SmackDown continues to deliver. Even if it's just a good, solid show for the most part, SmackDown continues to deliver a superior product. They get me invested in their feuds, their storylines. They get me invested in certain wrestlers, and I'm excited for Money in the Bank. I'm going to go back to what my good friend Gene, my fellow Four Horsemen brother, said a couple weeks ago in one of his SmackDown Live reviews, that the show where they announced the historic Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the New Day also debuted, that show felt more like a go-home show compared to the actual go-home show Raw had for Extreme Rules. And this past Tuesday's go-home show felt like a go-home show. It was a good, solid show, and it got me excited for Money in the Bank. I'm very excited for the pay-per-view as a whole. Now, there's only 5 matches announced on this card. There's probably going to be a kickoff match, which is probably going to be Breezango versus the Colognes. That's honestly the only match I can think of for the pre-show. Or maybe Mojo Rawley is gonna challenge, or yeah, maybe he'll challenge Aiden English. I don't know. I don't know what the pre-show is gonna be. But for the main card, we have 5 matches. And just a little something I want to throw out there. I think if this show only has 5 matches, I think it should just be a 2.5-hour pay-per-view like the NXT TakeOver specials are. Because like I said in my Raw is Dead commentary, I really just want in the future WWE, the main roster product, to focus mainly on wrestling and not on like filler or unnecessary backstage segments. Now, I'm not saying backstage segments are unimportant. I'm just saying, like, make them important, but don't always have a backstage segment or some kind of filler if it's unnecessary. But getting to my predictions video, like I said, there's 5 matches announced for the main card. I'm going to start off with the championship matches first, and then I'm going to end with the Money in the Bank matches. So the first match on this card is Naomi defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Lana. This is a surprising match to me, only because I didn't expect Naomi to defend her SmackDown Women's Championship on this show because, of course, there's the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. But I'm very surprised that she's defending against Lana. Lana is, an unusual challenger, but I'm looking forward to this match. Now, do I think Lana's going to win? Right off the bat, no. I don't think Lana's going to become the SmackDown Women's Champion, but I do believe she will become Women's Champion in the future. I like what they did with her over the past 2 weeks. She had a nice debut. She got a nice pop from the crowd when she came out. She got involved in the tag team match. She cost Naomi that tag team match. And then this past Tuesday on SmackDown, after Naomi beat Tamina, she got in the ring and she made her presence felt. She drilled Naomi with that exploder into a sit-out powerbomb. That finishing move of hers, I think, is really cool. And it brought me back to when Lana was feuding with Brie Bella. She was hitting Brie Bella with the Bella Buster. And I'm disappointed. It sucks that feud didn't really go anywhere other than the WrestleMania match. But I thought it should have been Lana versus Brie Bella in a singles match. But that's last year. We're focusing on now. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Lana does. Because Lana has been wrestling at some NXT house shows to get more experience and exposure, so to speak. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she does. I don't think she's going to beat Naomi. If she does, I'm going to be even more shocked than when Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship. Just because Lana, this is her debut pay-per-view match, her debut singles match, and she wins the SmackDown Women's Championship just like that. Like, that's going to be shocking. But I predict Naomi will retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. I am looking forward, though, to seeing what Lana's going to bring to the table. I think it's going to be a fun match. But in the end, I predict that Naomi will retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. Next, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos defending against the New Day. I think this is going to be a good match. The Usos have been doing great stuff as heels, especially as tag team champions. I feel like their promos are just on fire. They're killing it on the mic. And, you know, I think it was just a matter of time before the New Day came to SmackDown. And I'm happy that the New Day are on SmackDown because there's really not much for them to do on Monday Night Raw. Now, I don't think necessarily the New Day are going to win the tag team championships here at Money in the Bank. I think what's going to happen is the Usos and the New Day are going to continue this feud going into SummerSlam. And I'll talk more about SummerSlam when I do when the Horsemen and I do SummerSlam card predictions for on Daniel Guys' channel. But I think the New Day are not going to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships just yet. If they don't win the titles at Money in the Bank, it doesn't hurt them because they're already doing well on SmackDown. You know, they got a big pop from the crowd when they debuted. I like the Usos as SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I really don't want to see the Usos lose the titles just yet because they're killing it. You know, Usos could beat New Day, hook or crook, and they could say they're the best tag team, and not just SmackDown Live, but in the whole WWE in general, because they've beaten American Alpha, they've beaten Breezango, they beat, you know, I see them beating New Day, and then they can say that they beat the New Day as well. There's not really any tag team out there that can stop them. And I'll talk more about that when I do SummerSlam fantasy card predictions on Daniel's channel, like I said. But for now, I'm picking the New Day. Well, no, I'm not picking the New Day. I pick the Usos to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I think it's going to be a good match. I could see the Usos and the New Day feuding for a few months, even past SummerSlam. And like I said, I'll get to that in the next video. But I predict the Usos are going to win by hook or crook. Might even be by a the New Day might win by disqualification, but I don't see the Usos dropping the SmackDown Tag Team Championships just yet. Because like I said, I think they're doing great stuff as tag team champions. Their promo skills, you know, their mic skills are on point. They're on fire whenever they cut a promo. You know, all about that day one-ish. So yeah, I predict the Usos will retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Next, we have the WWE Championship match. The champion, Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja, hard body Mahal, as Gene likes to call him, versus the challenger and former champion, Randy Orton. Of course, Money in the Bank is taking place in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. You know, I never really did a live review or a review in general of Backlash last month, but I do have my ratings for that show down below in the description box. But you know, when Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship, I was shocked. I was picking Jinder Mahal to win, but of course the whole interest in that match was with WWE actually pull the trigger and give Jinder Mahal the WWE Championship, and they did. And I honestly wish I recorded my reaction only because I didn't mark out as much, but I was shocked. But I was happy Jinder won the championship. I was just like, wow, they actually did it. They pulled the trigger with Jinder Mahal. And so far, he's been a good WWE champion. He hasn't been like a cowardly WWE champion or a cowardly chicken shit champion, which I'm very happy with. You know, I love how he does his promos in English and then he cuts his promos in his native language of Punjabi. I like that. Yeah, you know, honestly, so far, great. Jinder Mahal has been a better WWE or just world champion in general than the great Khali was. And ironically, you know, Khali and Mahal had that little feud going and whatnot back in 2011, 2012, I believe. But other than that, do I see Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship back in his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri? No, honestly, I don't, because I think what they're going to do, well, you know, I didn't stop and think about this until Gene mentioned it in one of his SmackDown reviews. It was a while back. But with the hype and everything, I feel like Jinder Mahal will retain the WWE Championship, and that'll ultimately set the stage for his next feud, which will be against the returning John Cena. And you guys pretty much know what's going to happen when Mahal and Cena face off, be it at Battleground or SummerSlam. I don't see Randy Orton retaining the WWE Championship. I do hope that Orton and Mahal have a much better match than they did at Backlash, because I thought they had a solid main event, but I hope Mahal has a better out in this match. You know, Randy Orton, to his credit, has been given some good promos lately because he's been fired up. He has a passion. He has a motive and incentive after losing the WWE Championship the way that he did. I like when he cut the promo saying that if his grandfather was still alive, his grandfather would have smacked him in the face for dropping the WWE Championship to someone of Jinder Mahal. caliber in terms of his heel gimmick and everything. So I don't see Randy Orton winning the championship at Money in the Bank. And honestly, with Orton coming home, I don't want Orton to win by a DQ. I'd rather Jinder Mahal beat him again in the middle of the ring, be it hook or crook, and retain the WWE Championship by pinfall. So, like I said, I hope this match is much better than the Backlash match, but I don't see Orton winning the championship because I ultimately see Jinder Mahal holding on to that title, and if he's going to drop it, it's going to ultimately be to John Cena after Cena returns, whether it's Battleground or SummerSlam. You know it's going to be Cena and Mahal for the WWE Championship. But as far as Mahal Orton 2 goes, I'm picking Jinder Mahal to retain the WWE Championship. You know, I do like what they've done, the builds of this match, with how Orton's been fired up, how he wants his WWE Championship back, and, you know, Jinder Mahal with that lavish Punjabi celebration and how he's been booked as a good champion so far. He's not been a chicken shit champion or anything. So I'm looking forward to the match, and like I said, I hope it's better than the Backlash match. My prediction is Jinder Mahal, Hard Body Mahal, the modern day Maharaja, to retain the WWE Championship. And to end this prediction video, guys, I'm not gonna talk too much about both Money in the Bank ladder matches, because if you guys saw a couple weeks ago on my channel, I did a Money in the Bank winners prediction video with my good friend Mike from the Four Horsemen of the YWC. We got together 2 weeks ago, and we pretty much did our Money in the Bank winners prediction video.
You what?
So I'm not really gonna go too much into detail about these 2 matches. We'll start off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This, of course, is the historic first time for the women Money in the Bank ladder match. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Tamina versus Natalya. And I'm excited for this match because the women get another chance to shine. SmackDown's women's division is clearly the superior women's division compared to Raw's. And they haven't really been, yes, this is a historic match. I think they've mentioned it once or twice, but they haven't kept pushing that fact that this is historic. You know, like they did on Raw when Sasha and Charlotte had their first ever Hell in a Cell match. You know, the women have been, I'm just very excited for the women of SmackDown to get this opportunity, and I like that SmackDown's not forcing the whole fact that it's historic. Yes, this is history in the making, but they haven't kept mentioning that or forcing it down our throats. So I like how they've built to it. And like I said in my predictions video, guys, the two top contenders I see to win it are Becky Lynch and Charlotte. But my prediction is Becky Lynch. And like I said in my predictions video, the reason I'm picking Becky Lynch is because I feel like this could be a good chance to turn her heel by having her cash in on Naomi. And, you know, Mike brought up a good point, that if Becky turns heel, there's not going to be a lot of, you know, faces on SmackDown. You're going to have Becky, Lana, Tamina, Natalya, and Carmella. They're all going to be heels, and you're only going to have Charlotte and Naomi as faces. And Charlotte is still somewhat of a tweener until she officially establishes herself as a face or a heel. But why I think I see Becky Lynch winning Money in the Bank is simply because, you know, she's lost a few opportunities at regaining the SmackDown Women's Championship. So by winning Money in the Bank and by cashing in at the right time, she could pull a CM Punk from Extreme Rules 2009. She could cash in as a face and then tell Naomi, hey, you know, this is nothing personal against you. This is what Money in the Bank is all about. I took advantage of an opportunity and I cashed in, literally, you know. And then little by little, you could turn Becky heel, do a program between her and Naomi for SummerSlam, and, you know, why she turns heel. Ultimately, Becky says that she feels entitled to being the SmackDown Women's Champion. She was the inaugural champion. She won it back at Backlash in September. You know, she's sick and tired of getting screwed out of opportunities and having people stab her in the back and whatnot. So she decided to do business for herself, and that's why she turned heel. You could do good stuff between her and Naomi. I could see that being a good feud for the summer. So if not Becky Lynch, I could see Charlotte or Natalya winning, but my prediction is Becky Lynch to become the first ever Miss Money in the Bank. And like I said in my predictions video, Becky doesn't have to always win everything. That's a first dub on SmackDown Live for the women. She didn't win the Steel Cage match with Alexa Bliss. She didn't win the six-pack challenge at WrestleMania. So Becky doesn't always have to be the first to win like everything on SmackDown, but I could see her being the perfect first ever Miss Money in the Bank. I know she's a face, she's a fan favorite. The fans love Becky, but I think with this could lead to something big in terms of heel turn. We'll see how it plays out. But my prediction is Becky Lynch will be the first ever Miss Money in the Bank. And then to wrap it up, guys, I have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which I honestly think when you look at the WWE Championship match and this match, I think this match should go last. Hell, maybe even the women's Money in the Bank match could main event the show. But looking at it, I think the men's Money in the Bank ladder match would be the perfect main event. Just because, like, do you really want to close the show with Mahal and Orton in the rematch when you pretty much know Orton's not going to get the title back? So, with that said, men's Money in the Bank ladder match. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. And like I said in my Money in the Bank winners predictions video with Mike, very stacked roster for this match. I do wish Ty Dillinger was on this show, either in this match or on a meaningful match on the main card. I don't understand why he's not on the show at all. I think he would have been a nice addition to the Money in the Bank ladder match, because from there you could do something with him and Ziggler or him and Owens stemming from this match. You know, you keep Ty relevant, you build him up to eventually contend for United States Championship and then eventually the WWE Championship. So yeah, I do wish Ty Dillinger was on this show. But getting back to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, this is a very stacked roster, you know, with everyone that's in it. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, because he's been rumored to win this match for quite some time now, my prediction, like it was in the winner's prediction video, is for Baron Corbin to be Money in the Bank. You know, he has lost a few times on SmackDown. I don't think that hurts his momentum, but if he wins Money in the Bank, they have to really build him up strong. And SmackDown's done a fine job of building him up as a top heel, as a monster heel, and eventually they want to further establish him as the main heel, the main top heel on SmackDown Live. Now, with Baron Corbin winning, and with Sami Zayn and him having their feud, I could see a great program between these guys going on until the fall. You know, Baron Corbin has been assaulting Sami Zayn backstage, you know, outside of the ring, and he's been getting like one up on Sami Zayn, although Sami Zayn's been getting one up on him by pinning him in, you know, the matches they've had on, you know, at Backlash and on SmackDown Live, including the six-man tag team match this past Tuesday. You know, really, when you look at it, any guy but Ziggler could win this match. But then when you really think about it, Nakamura with the Money in the Bank briefcase, it just wouldn't go with his character. I'm sure Nakamura is going to get, you know, WWE title shots in the future. But, you know, I just don't see Mr. Money in the Bank going with his character, you know, the King of Strong style and whatnot. AJ, I could see winning. Owens, I could definitely see winning. Zayn, I could see winning. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, my prediction, like it was in my video, is for for Baron Corbin to win the Money in the Bank ladder match and become Mr. Money in the Bank. And what would further, you know, establish him as a major heel and further establish his credibility as Mr. Money in the Bank is if he cashes in on Sami Zayn, should Sami Zayn ever win the WWE Championship. You know, like I said in my winner's prediction video with Mike. But not to repeat pretty much everything I said from that video if you haven't already seen it or you've pretty much seen it. I do predict Baron Corbin will win Money in the Bank. I think he's the perfect pick for Money in the Bank. But again, you can't go wrong if they end up giving it to a guy like Kevin Owens or AJ Styles or even Sami Zayn. But my final prediction is Baron Corbin to walk out Mr. Money in the Bank. So that will pretty much do it, guys, for my Money in the Bank predictions video. I think this is honestly the shortest predictions video I've ever done in a while, because I already did, you know, the Money in the Bank winners predictions video. So I talked in depth about those two matches and then talking about the other title matches on this card. I really don't see any of the champions losing their titles in these matches. But I am excited for Money in the Bank this Sunday night on the WWE Network, because it's a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. And I feel like this could be, with everything they have, this could be one of SmackDown's best pay-per-views. I definitely feel that with the right amount of time for each of these matches, this could definitely be a better show than Backlash, because I honestly thought Backlash was a pretty good show, a decent show, but that's not really saying much. So, with that said, guys, that will do it for my Money in the Bank 2017 predictions video. Excuse me. Once again, to recap my predictions, I have Naomi retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship, the Usos retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Jinder Mahal retaining the WWE Championship, Becky Lynch becoming the first ever Miss Money in the Bank, and Baron Corbin walking out as Mr. Money in the Bank. So, of course, that will do it, guys, for my video. Thank you all for watching and listening. Leave your comments down below. Leave your predictions down below. How excited are you for Money in the Bank this Sunday night? Which match are you most looking forward to? Who do you see walking out as Miss Money in the Bank and Mr. Money in the Bank? And, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and support my channel. This is Everyone Kenobi signing off. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Everybody have a good day. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy Money in the Bank this Sunday. And for all you out there watching and listening, I hope your fathers have a good Father's Day. If those of you watching are fathers yourself, happy early Father's Day to you. And I'm just going to end this video by pretty much saying, do I think this will be another good to great show from Team Blue?
Of course!
Because it's Team Blue, you guys. So, you can expect a good to great show, solid show. But I'm excited. So, that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching and listening. And please do not forget to support my channel and as well as the channels of my fellow horsemen, Daniel Gaiza, Gene from BSP Wrestling Show, and Mike, a.k.a. the Club of the Man 1993, as well as another good friend of mine on here, Hollywood Shona, the gamer himself, the Injustice God himself. Please make sure to support his channel. He's a good friend of mine. Support all our channels. Have a good day. Have a good night. Enjoy Money in the Bank this Sunday, and I will catch you all later.